go refer to my list. Who's the next person I should talk about? Should we talk about Mark Meadows? Let's talk about Mark Meadows. And I think we might have a time for him. I'm not sure. Oh, no, I have guesses for him. Well, we'll do the noon one. I like to make guesses about people's rising signs. And it isn't actually that hard to do when it comes to people who are associated with Trump. Now, Liz Cheney, if I had to guess her sign, Taurus would be one of the signs that I would guess. But Trump likes to surround himself with people who have a particular planet prominently in their chart, and that planet is Uranus. He has Uranus prominently in his chart, and he just tends to gravitate to people who have that. He also likes air sign men around him, like people like Geminis, Aries, and Libras. Not Aries, Geminis, Aquarius, and Libra. So that's another weird thing about Donald Trump. But let's look at Mark Meadows. Okay, so Mark Meadows on the time of the full moon. Oh, Mark Meadows. Do I have? No, this is just for noon. So we're not sure that this is his rising sign. So we can't really go with the house placements for this, but we do see that Uranus is conjunct his natal moon or just crossing over his natal moon on the full moon. So that means that something is going to be happening for him that really rocks his world. Uranus is about chaos and rocking your world. So with Uranus that close to his natal moon on a full moon, that something big's going to be happening there. So, okay, so
Was
here,
he the one that did whatever he could to try to get out of this whole thing?
yeah, he was the chief of staff, and he tried to get his case moved from Georgia to federal court,
Right. Okay.
and they said no. So
All right.
he's back in Georgia.
Too
He
bad.
also is one of the 4 or 5 that they're not going to make a deal with because he's already got some sort of a deal with Jack Smith.
Okay.
Um, that so anyway, so that's going on. So yeah, so he has the sun has just crossed his Saturn, which would mean that if he didn't make a new deal with Fonnie Willis, then it would have been right now, prior to the full moon. This is when he would be making a deal because he owes something. And where's his Pluto? His Pluto is up here. Ooh, and Mars is really close to it. How close is his Mars? 4 and 2. Ooh, very close. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. So I would say now he does have actually his Saturn is well placed against his Pluto and Mars. So this is a guy that when he works hard, it really pays off for him in spades. I mean, look at the level that he achieved, chief of staff. And before that, I believe he was in the Senate. Wasn't he a senator? I'm not sure. I know he was at least in Congress, if not a senator. And so when he puts in effort, it really pays off for him. And this Saturn being activated by the sun going over it to me would mean that somebody else is giving him a hand up. They're saying, hey, do you want to make a deal? And so I see that happening for him. Plus, we have the Uranus there that will have already crossed his moon. So they probably have made some kind of an arrangement with him, but they haven't forgiven everything because he's just too close to it. So interesting full moon for that guy too. But I don't think quite as I think Liz Cheney has won the full moon sweepstakes at this point because I don't see anybody else getting quite the attention that she's going to get.
Okay. I'm sorry, but who did you do before Mark Meadows, or how many people have you done? Because I
I
was
I did too. I did Jack Smith and I did Liz Cheney.
okay.
And Liz Cheney's chart looks really good with this full moon. Oh, yeah, who knows about
Well, I mean, she's on the
yeah, that
warpath to try to get the Republicans to come to their senses.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I couldn't hear
I
you.
said, I said, Liz Cheney is on the warpath to try to make the Republicans come to their senses.
You're breaking up a lot. I can't understand what you're saying.
Really? Wow. Let me go out and come back in and check my audio. Well, wait a minute. I guess I can check it.
Yeah, something's going weird with your audio. So let's look at Clarence Thomas and get a bead on what's happening for the if you all may you all may not have heard, but
Whoops. Looks like she she got kicked off here for a minute. Oh, great. I don't know anything about astrology. This is basically Colleen's show today because she's doing all the astrological charts, and I'm sure she'll be back here in just a moment. Hi, everybody. I'm so sorry. Here I am. I'm late. I don't know what the hell is going on. and, uh, and then all of a sudden, Colleen says there's trouble with my audio. I don't know if you guys are hearing me okay, but oh, cool. All right, clear as a bell. Great. So it must be on her end. I know she's been having a little bit of trouble with her internet connection lately, so that might be part of the problem. So let's see, what can we talk about? Well, she was talking about Liz Cheney, and I'll tell you, that woman, I mean, she is fighting this tooth and nail. She just is so upset about the Republicans, the road that they're on, the ridiculous things that they're doing, right down to, I get the feeling anyway, it's from my spirit guides, that right down to this impeachment thing of Biden, they're like, what a waste of time. So I guess even Mitt Romney also, was saying, no, we don't have anything. I don't know. He didn't say he didn't know what they were doing, but he just said they don't have anything. So it's ridiculous. But, I'm kind of a Liz Cheney fan, although it comes and goes. It depends on what she's doing. I know that everybody else has said, uh, all the other psychics have talked about that she was so, oh, she went along with Trump while he was president and did everything he asked her to do. But then when it came down to the final thing and January 6th, then she went the other direction. So they're not trusting her. I think, somebody just asked about Zelensky dealing with the icky GOP. I mean, he's nervous about it. He's real nervous about it. He needs that money. Yes, and Liz Cheney is definitely still a staunch Republican, and she will always be. That's why she's working so hard to try to get this, to try to clean up the swamp, basically. That's what Donald Trump said he was going to do, and he is the swamp. So Liz Cheney is trying very hard. She wants to stay a Republican. She's been a Republican all her life. Her dad was the vice president. So, and it's just in her blood. And she is just, on one hand, disheartened by the way the Republican Party has really failed their own party. I mean, the guys in Congress and stuff, they're just so goofy. Laura says that Trump has new baseball cards out he's selling. Well, that tells you he needs some money, because they're going to take away all his stuff. They're going to seize all his properties, and for him to pay these massive fines for, for pretending that his properties were worth more than they were. But we'll see what happens with that. We'll see if they go easy on him a little bit or not. Yeah, I'm sure, Judith says that Liz said she'd vote for Biden if Trump was the Republican option. And no doubt about it, she does not want Trump in there. But I'm kind of, I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks, that more than likely, um, I just don't see Trump making it on the ballot. I mean, I might be wrong. You know what? I'll tell you guys right now, the energy around this whole thing going into 2024 is so erratic, so goofy. It's just up and down, up and down, up and down. I'm having a hard time keeping up, but I'm getting the feeling that Trump is not going to be on the ballot, and it's either because he doesn't get voted as the candidate for Republican president, or he doesn't, or he gets sick, uh, and something happens that way. And I kind of see Nikki Haley being the nominee. So I know we've got a long ways to go, and I'm telling you this, you get ready for it. I've been I've been saying this. Somebody else told me, put on your seatbelt, get ready for a rocky ride. Well, it's already starting. It's starting in this month. Well, it's actually been going on for a couple months, but it just gets even worse. So part of me just wants to say, oh God, I don't even want to get involved with politics because it's going to be so crazy. And let's see, what is Tarot Stash? Hi from the Seer chat. Okay. Hi, Gerald. So, yeah, a lot of crazy stuff going on. And I know that Colleen wants to cover all this stuff astrologically. And she's got it all together and ready to go. But obviously her internet connection has gone haywire. And part of the problem is she is having her upstairs studio redone. And so she's downstairs, and I guess they've been having some trouble with the internet. Oh yeah, Jamie Johnson says we've got to vote blue for women's rights. Absolutely. And can you believe the stuff that's going on down in Texas with this woman that really needs to have this abortion because it's going to be detrimental to her health if she doesn't? I know she's gone to another state. I hope she came up to Washington because we could help her out. But wherever she went, she's going to a state where it's legal. And yeah, I mean, come on, Texas. Texas, I feel like Texas thinks they're their own country. And they just do an awful lot of goofy things. Let me see what else you guys are talking about over here. Well, thank you, Extreme Ranch. I'm trying. I've never hosted a show before. I've never been put in this predicament. And we'll just hang in there, and hopefully Colleen will be back in a bit. You think she went to Colorado for the abortion? Okay, good. But God, I was just feeling terrible for this woman, what she's going through, and why in the world the courts would say, well, there's not enough there to convince them that her life's in jeopardy. Oh my God, please. Terrible. Hold on a minute. It's Colleen. Hello. Hi, I'm on here trying to keep the show going. Well, no, I'm not really talking about astrology because I don't know that much about it. I'm just talking about whatever comes to mind. What's going on with your okay. Well, okay. All right. I'm taking over. Bye bye. All right. Yeah, she's having some serious internet connection problems, and she is trying to reboot, and I don't know, trying to get it together. And she's got some people there, her daughter and her friend, who's trying to trying to fix this, and Sherry says, Cleo, it's called flying by the seat of your pants. Well, I've never had to do this before. It's kind of fun. Now I'm in control. Now we're going to talk about what I want to talk about. Okay. So, yeah, sure, I'll just answer questions. Rose Blue, what is the question? And by the way, I don't, I know a certain amount of things, but I don't know everything. Everybody, I've just been on the fence watching what everybody else is doing. So something about Chris Christie. I actually kind of like Chris Christie. I don't ever see him being president, but I see him being an interference to Trump, and he is doing as much as he can do without. Well, he's doing as much as he can do to bring up the negatives, the stuff that Trump has done, and the lies, and the all the goofiness, and and what he did for Nikki Haley when she was on the debate, and he said, he's kind of stuck up for her, and people were kind of like, well, weren't sure if they liked that or didn't like that, and I think it did kind of interfere with her pace of how she was going into the debate, because they said that she didn't win that debate, but she won 3 debates before that, and I'm just keeping a close eye on Nikki Haley, because I think she's going to. I do think she's going to be the nominee, but I don't think she'll ever be president. Well, I shouldn't say ever. I don't think this time around she'll be president. I really believe that Biden will be president, and but right now, I mean, the House really needs to get their ducks in a row as far as this money for Ukraine and Israel and the border, But to hold the border thing over his head on Ukraine, I mean, you're talking apples and oranges. I mean, you're talking 2 different things. This thing with Ukraine is critical. But the thing with the border, I realize that's critical too. There's an awful lot of people coming through there, and it's just, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of big problems, and like I said, the energy around all of this, the politics, the world wars, everything that's going on is so chaotic. It's really hard to try to zoom in on one thing, because I will get something today that might change tomorrow. So what I'm saying right now, that's what I'm getting right now, but it doesn't mean it's going to stay that way, because it's just crazy. It is totally crazy. Well, thank you, Book Bewitched. She says, Cleo, you always get major and well-earned respect from panel members and from us. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, and Rose Blue says it's solar flares. With the internet, it may well be. I know we're having a problem with that. So, but I kind of think it's got to do with that she has switched her internet from upstairs to downstairs temporarily in her house. That might be a big part of it. But yeah, the solar flares do affect a lot of things. Okay. Gerald says, next you're going to be hosting shows. No. I like it when other people host the shows. I like it when they do the work. They do it so much better than I could ever do it. Like I said, I've never done it. So this is a this is a trip. I think even the Hunter Biden thing, it sounds to me like he's got a little bit of trouble, and they're just not letting up on him. They put so much pressure on him, and it's crazy that he has paid his taxes. I think he's even paid penalties and everything else, and they're still looking at his taxes, and then they're going through and saying, well, he spent this on women and he spent this on rehab. And I'm like, well, who cares what Hunter Biden spent his money on? What we care about is, did he pay his taxes? And he did. So what the whole purpose of doing what they're doing with Hunter is to reflect on the president, to make the president look bad. It is so ridiculously stupid. I mean, Hunter Biden is what, 50 some years old? And look what your son did, and somehow that reflects on him. No, I mean, he's really proud of his son, and they have not done any illegal financial dealings. They've been taught. If you've noticed, like over most of this year, they will come up with the most negative things they can say about Hunter Biden and act like, okay, well, he was siphoning money to his father, but then it goes nowhere. And then some of the reports, especially on the internet, you'll see reports that the headline is like, Biden will be impeached. And then you read the article and it has nothing to do with that headline. So that tells me that, well, for one thing, I totally believe that Trump is manipulating. I think he's paying people off to encourage other people to make these false claims. So it won't go back to him, but he just wants as much negative stuff about Biden because he really, really wants and thinks he's going to win this presidential election. And I mentioned on another show about an article where I read that Trump said he's going to get 150 million votes for president. And now, if you think about it, how the votes went last time, that's almost every single voter in the country would vote for Trump. God, you talk about delusional. No, it's not going to happen. And Gerald says that I only need 5 more subscribers to get to 400. Yeah, it's crazy. How did I get to 400? Thank you, guys. I'm just thrilled about that. And this is my 3rd show that I'm streaming to my channel, and I don't really know how to do that all that well. So I'm just so glad that my sister just left me hanging here to try to do that. Oh, Biden still rode Hamtramck forever. Wow, cool. I didn't know that. I mean, Biden is a good guy. He's really he's a great president. And for them, that was the other thing that they love to put out on the internet is Biden is the worst president we've ever had. I'm thinking, no. Trump is the worst president we've ever had. So I know that comes from the Republican mega people, trying to make Biden look bad. But no, Biden is doing a great job. And then they also said that he's a laughing stock to the other countries in the world. Absolutely, that is not true. Oh my God, is she back? Oh, thank the Lord.
I've been to the other side, and I want to tell you, it's beautiful.
Hey,
Oh my God, I do feel like I died and came back to life.
Me too.
Wow. So, what do you keep going? What are you talking about? I gotta
I've just been rambling about whatever I know about Trump and Biden and Liz Cheney and I'm taking questions over here on the chat.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Well, what are some of the questions?
Well, I've already covered them most. Let's see.
Well, geez, I knew you would eclipse me easily once you came onto YouTube. I should have never brought you on. Damn it. I think I was looking at Mark Meadows. So go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know that much about Mark, and you did cover his astrology. Did you want to move on to a new person?
Oh, did I finish him? Okay.
Pretty much.
All right. So let's look at Clarence Thomas. That's who I was going to look at. Okay. I keep opening these, and that's not what I want to do.
Not
Okay. So,
nearly as exciting as what I was doing, but go ahead.
oh, well, what were you guys talking about? That's great.
Well, I mean, Clarence Thomas is not the biggest figurehead for what we're working with politics and the House and the Republicans and Trump. And I wished I would have been here in time for Liz Cheney because um, it's not that I'm a big fan, but I do appreciate what she's doing and trying to get the Republican Party back on track. Uh, she can only do so much, but I know that within herself, she's just sad about the way things have gone with the
Hmm.
Republicans.
Yeah.
So,
True. True. Yeah.
and
Well,
then the chatters, I got to tell you, the chatters over here have helped me out immensely. Thank you, guys.
oh, that's so nice. That's really good. So the main reason I was looking at Clarence Thomas is because I don't have John Roberts' chart. And SCOTUS is going to be looking at an issue real quick here, which is unusual. Um, Trump wanted to get his case with Tanya Chutkin basically dismissed. So what they were saying is that they were going to the appellate court and saying, "Can you just rule on the fact that, when Donald Trump was a president or because he was a president, he just has immunity to all of this. He shouldn't be indicted, he shouldn't be charged criminally, he shouldn't have to go to court, he shouldn't have to do any of this. So can you just verify that?" And he was going to the court above Tanya Chutkan, basically her bosses, and saying, "Can you make this happen?" And they didn't even have a chance to respond to it. As soon as Jack Smith heard that that had been filed, he made a filing to both the Supreme Court and to that appellate bench of judges to say, "Look, this is one of the most important cases of our lifetime. This is the most important thing right now to the United States and to all the people of the United States. And we have to settle this once and for all." He listed all these reasons why it was super important to do it quickly. He listed a bunch of precedent that came out of the Watergate cases after Nixon. And so, so that Trump's attorneys couldn't come back and say, "Well, this has never been done before. This is totally out of the ordinary." No, it's been done before. And actually, in the last 10 years, they have used this don't remember what it is, but it's some kind of a rule or a motion that you put in that says that we need the even though you're the Supreme Court and you're supposed to take, a million years to do all of your opinions, this has to be done quickly. And they responded quickly. The Supreme Court said, "Okay, Jack Smith, we will take this under advisement." So they put down dates for Trump's people to have reply briefs in. They put down also then another date for Jack to reply to their reply, and a date for their decision. They didn't put down a date for their decision, but it looks like their decision could be handed down as early as the very beginning of January. So that's extraordinary. The Supreme Court doesn't move quickly for anybody. So this is really important. And so that's why I wanted to just look at SCOTUS, because I think by the time we have the full moon after Christmas, I think that that's going to impact them. So I just wanted to see. Clarence Thomas is the only SCOTUS chart that I have. So I just wanted to see
Okay.
real quick if there was anything going on with that. And sure enough, the moon on that full moon is going to be conjunct his sun. And he has a little stellium of planets in Cancer. These are at the end of Gemini, but he's got Sun, Mercury, and Venus all in Cancer. That's why he's such a touchy-feely fellow. That's why he's so emotional. He's a very emotional guy. Also, his moon is a really important planet for him because his moon is in his first house. And right now, lucky Clarence, Pluto is just socking it to him in the moon. Pluto is just giving him a ride for his money. You better believe that Clarence Thomas over the next 20 years is just going to be going through hell. this is not going to be fun for him the next 20 years because Pluto's going to be just riding him through his first chart. Because I think this is we do have an actual, we have an actual birth time for him. So having the sun transiting his 12th house, no bueno for him, but it does mean that he's going to try to keep this secret. He's going to try either to not state his opinion on this issue, like he might abstain in some way, or at least he doesn't really want it to go forward. So he's going to probably be a dissenting vote no matter what. A dissenting vote as far as should they even hear this question, and a dissenting vote if they do hear it and they bring down a decision, he will have a dissenting voice. He will oppose it. In other words, he's going to back up Donald Trump in this. So
Oh, okay.
that's what we have for that. But the moon hitting all of his planets here in Cancer means that we're going to know about all of it. The moon is the public. When it's in transit, the moon represents all of us, especially when it comes to a public figure. So where the moon goes in his chart is where people are going to be aware. It's going to be very visible. So I don't think that he's going to be able to hide his grievance or his, whatever decision that he actually makes. So that's going to be very interesting, and that's going to happen a day or two right after Christmas. Now it shows December 27th, but it's actually at midnight here on the West Coast. I think the full moon's actually going to be in the evening on the 26th, the day after Christmas. So December 26th or 27th, depending on where you are. So let's look at somebody else fun for this full moon. Did I not share my screen? I didn't share my screen. I'm sorry. All right, let me get the next one up and then I'll share my screen. So who else do we want to look at?
Who are the options?
Okay, let me see here. I've got oh gosh, I always lose this and then I have to go all the way back and retrace my steps to get back to all of these.
Hopefully it's somebody I know something about.
Well, I know that Vladimir Zelensky is here right now
Right.
in the United States, so I thought maybe I'd look at him.
Okay. Let's
All right.
do that. Yeah.
Right. So
because they were asking about him.
Yeah, so let's look at his chart. And this will be in relationship to the full moon, but I mean, we could look at it a little sooner too, because I know he's only going to be here for a few days. So let's look at what happens to him, say a couple days from now, like the 14th, and then we'll look at the full moon for him.
Well, like they're concerned. We're all concerned. Is he going to get the money?
Uh-oh. That's what happened the last time I lost internet.
Uh-oh.
I hope I'm not going to lose internet again. Uh-oh. Come on, please,
Don't
please, please.
don't put up the chart. Maybe that will make a difference.
Shoot. Why isn't this happening?
You're freezing. You're freezing. You're
I'm
freezing.
losing it.
You're melting. Oh God, you're melting. When there she goes, she melted. Damn it. I really want to hear about Zelensky and what's in his chart. Come on back. If it goes to a big mouth, shit. There we go. We're back to this. Well, I sure wanted to hear about Zelensky because I think I already put my 2 cents in about that. I mean, he's here to get that money, and he knows that the Republican House is holding it up, and we've got to give them the money. We're talking the difference between a war between Russia and Ukraine and an eventual world war. And that is why we're putting so much money into Ukraine, to try to prevent that from happening. We hope with enough money and enough tanks and planes and ammunition and everything. I mean, they're the one fighting the war right now, and so we have to support them because Uh, a lot of people feel that if Russia is able to take over what they want, that they will not stop there and they'll move on into Poland and other areas. And and they're also that constant threat of a nuclear war is just well, them and who is the other one? I think China is possibly another one that is getting pushy about nuclear war, and we can't have that. What I see about, somebody, Book Bewitch asked, "What do you see about Zelensky?" And I just see a person that is driven and has done everything he can. He's gone to all these different countries, and there is other countries giving them money, but it's just he needs. We're talking billions of dollars, and he needs that money. And for the Republicans to do what they're doing and holding it up uh, because they want to get, they're saying, well, we got to take care of stuff at home first. Well, you're not going to have a home. If Ukraine loses this war, there's a very good possibility that it'll change everything, and everybody. It could end up in World War III. And so to have these idiots in the House looking around like, well, until you fix the border, well, the border's been a problem for a long time. So, they're not going to automatically fix the border. I'm just calling. Can we hear you?
I think so. Can
Yes,
you
we
hear me?
can. So
Okay.
we were just talking about Zelensky and how badly they need the money and what would happen if they don't get the money and what might happen with the idiots in the House of the Republicans that want to hold the border crisis over the head of Biden in order to get money for Ukraine, and how it's just so stupid to be, it's dangerous to be doing that because, Ukraine needs the money, and we need to do everything we can to make sure that they win this war, because if they don't, it could end up disaster, just big, big disaster. And on the other hand, all the threats about nuclear war and bombing that nuclear power plant, and it just horrible things going on over there in Russia and the Ukraine, and we need to do all we can. So anyway,
Yeah, thank you for holding down the fort, Cleo. I really appreciate that. So I am going to share my screen, which I didn't do before. I'm sorry, I forgot. I was so excited just to be back
did
on
your
online. So,
does
oh boy.
bringing up the charts affect anything with your connection, or
Oh, and it didn't
well,
do the right.
let's not do the charts, Colin. Just you read it from the charts, and unless it doesn't have anything to do with you getting knocked off the internet.
That's so weird. Oh.
Can you just read? Oh, son of a bitch! Yeah, boy. Let's just watch this little thing spinning, spinning, spinning. This newfangled technology with these computers and StreamYard and the internet. I don't know. I just don't understand it. Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, I am so excited about this technology, the internet and the psychics. This has never happened before, where you could put a whole bunch of psychics in one place and like get readings and talk to us and stuff. It's just, it's amazing. And so I'm loving that. But, back to Valinsky, I think I've covered about as much as I can say about that. Well, thank you, Sherry. But Spirit tells me a lot of things where I'm like, settle down, guys. Settle down. Let's see. Well, you know, Mercury retrograde, all that kind of stuff. But um, let's see. I'm not quite sure. What else can we talk about? But it's got to be. Um, this is meant to be Cleo's and to initiate you into doing a show. You know, you're probably right. I can't tell you, you know, so the things my spirit guides do, I think I have a different connection with my spirit guides than everybody else, which is probably not true, but yeah, they're constantly tricking me. And they go, "Oh, wait a minute, excuse me." They're saying, "Don't say trick." And okay, so they're constantly manipulating me. Now, excuse me, no, don't say manipulate. Okay, they're constantly guiding me carefully and and lovingly guiding me. But yeah, maybe this is the big thing that I'm supposed to learn something from. I am broadcasting this on my own channel. This is my third streaming video to my channel, so please go over there and watch it once in a while, and so I can get a whole bunch of views. Um, all right, okay, Cleo, can you talk about Santos Revenge? Isn't that guy a goofball? I mean, what did he do? And I guess Giuliano did the same thing where you can uh it's not TikTok, I don't think, but they're making videos to, you know, here's a famous person, this George Santos, that he's gonna make a video for whoever. And I saw some of those videos on the late night talk shows. It was hilarious the way they present, way like Jimmy Fallon presented it, or Seth Meyers, you know. But um, Santos is just, he's a nothing. I mean, his days are coming to an end. He's got big troubles over in, what was it, over in Brazil or somewhere. And he's just, I have to admit, I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to the guy because, you know, everything was a lie. So why listen to what he had to say? Hold on here a minute. I almost have 400 subscribers. Thank you. Thank you, Deb, for bringing that up, because yeah, that happened really fast and I'm just so excited about it. Okay, what do I see about the dog illness? You know what? I'm very concerned about that. I got a little puppy and she's only 3 years old, and I don't want her to get in contact with that. And we don't take her to any place where there's a whole bunch of dogs, but we do have dogs going up and down the street here, and we take her out for walks about 3 or 4 times a day. So I'm just hoping that they're going to get a handle on that real quick. It almost feels like doggy COVID. You know, the hacking, the coughing, and some of the dogs aren't making it, but apparently they're giving them antibiotics, and that's helping. But no, I'm concerned about that, and I really don't know where it's going. And but the quicker they find out what's happening, the quicker, the happier I will be. Oh, Rossi says I'm actually in your channel. Score! It's finally getting some use. I mean, I've had that channel up for a while, but I was waiting till I actually made my own solo video. Uh, and I'm still working on it, and it'll come out in January. But it kept getting postponed. And then back in November, I started seeing with the holidays and everything that maybe this wasn't going to happen. And it's not going to happen until January. But yeah, it's my introduction, Cleo the Seer, and my own little video. And I've tried to make it a couple times. Oh my God, what a disaster. Oh God, it did not come out well. So that's another reason why I'm kind of slow on the uptake here. But yes, thank you for watching it on my channel. Okay, so a reader did say that this thing what's going on with dogs is kind of a COVID for dogs, and it really feels like it. So so I could walk the dog within the yard. Well, we do that, but we're just walking it down the street a little ways and then back up. And she's really a hyper little puppy, and she needs to get out and stuff. And so we try to let her out in the backyard and run around, and she just doesn't get it. She's um, a miniature bull terrier. Is that what she is? Yeah, she's just like the little Target dog, only she happens to be black and brown. She's got that cool little nose, and those were bred to catch rats and stuff. So every time she goes outside, she's looking for rats. Well, we we don't have any rats in the backyard right now, and so she just starts to eat all kinds of junk off the grass and stuff, and generally ends up throwing up and me yelling at her, which does no good because she doesn't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, we do try to keep her in the yard, and like right now she's got something going on with her ear, and we're thinking about taking her to the vet, but we don't want to go to the vet because we're afraid that real sick dogs are going to the vet, and that would be one way to pick that virus up. So let's see, what else do we have going on here? Let's see if I can find some questions here. I'm supposed to know how to, I don't know if I don't think she did star anything because she was going to, Colleen was going to do all this astrology stuff, and that's exactly, the whole show is just supposed to be all about that. Now you're stuck with me. I don't even know anything about astrology, about it. I don't pay any attention to that because Colleen's my sister. She was the expert on it. Why bother? I just go to her if I have any astrological questions. Okay, so yeah, the vets, they don't know how they're contracting this dog virus, and they suggested, she said they suggested you leash and walk in your yard, which we do that too. We do a lot of that, but and that actually it's only in the backyard where she can really get out and run. And Sherry says, I do some shows with Sherry. So anyway, she said, we could have left, but we didn't. We stayed for moral support of you. Thank you so much, because it's been really weird. If Colleen disappeared, I'm rambling on about whatever I can talk about. And then I look over in chat and everybody's gone. Everybody went home. Oh, brother. And some of the people she's talking about in her astrology, I don't really know that much about them, but I don't know what to say. Laura says, I think you're very brave. Well, very brave or not very bright, one or the other. Wow, I can't believe she hasn't come back yet. I don't know how long this show was supposed to go on, but it's been an hour and 4 minutes. Does anybody have any questions that they think maybe I could answer? Or maybe I could look at and come up with an answer? You're shocked. You do see this is Cleo's channel. Well, and when you go to my channel, you have to click on the live thing because there's nothing in the main area where I'm supposed to have my videos out. But I will tell you guys, when I do get around to getting that video out, I've got a couple of surprises, and I think you guys are going to be interested in this because it's it's going to be a thing that involves everybody, and it's not, I'm going to continue to do all the stuff I've been doing with the Mystic Four and Colleen's PoliTarology, and again, in case you missed this, Colleen is my sister, so she's just left me high and dry to fend for myself, and this is crazy stuff. Let's see. I don't have any thoughts about Nobani. I don't really know what's going on. That's the Middle East, I'm assuming. I don't know that much. The Middle East thing is, I thought the Middle East thing was going to come and go real quick. I'm kind of surprised it's still going on and it's just getting worse. But I think those people know, they have a better, they're bigger, they've got more money, and they know more about what they're doing, as far as they were going to try to end it real quick. Oh, are you back, Colleen? Thank God.
May I join you? Oh, look, it worked.
Yes, Colleen is my sister. Okay.
I had changed that banner before we came on. It's so Mercury retrograde that I changed it, forgot to save it, then let it play with all the wrong info. We're not talking about the Venus retrograde. We're talking about the full moon in Cancer and how it affects people. But I've been having so many internet problems. We might as well be talking about how the internet affects people, because it's affecting
Well,
me.
somebody did bring up the solar
Flares.
flares.
Yeah. Well, so I don't think it does affect my internet connection to just show charts, but maybe it affects something on StreamYard. So I won't share the screen, I guess. But I had pulled up the screen on Vladimir Zelensky. Are you past that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I would like
All
to
right.
hear more about him, because
Yeah, so the first transit that I pulled up is for 2 days from now, because he's in the United States right now, so I'm figuring he won't stay much more than a couple of days. And it looks good for him, actually. His sun is coming up on his descendant, followed by Mars. So, oh God, I had turned this down on my phone because, hang on a second, we're going to get that noise all the time. If it isn't one thing, it's another. Okay. Um, yeah, with the sun coming up on his descendant, that's the descendant is the cusp of the house of partnerships. And so that's really good. The sun is really powerful. So I do think somehow Biden is going to get something for him. I don't think he's going to go home empty-handed. And it is going to be surprising, of course, because right now everything that you hear on the news is, well, the Republicans they want to tie it to the border. I have this vision of Biden just getting Mike Johnson in a back room somewhere, pulling out a baseball bat and saying, "I'm sorry, did you want to talk about this package for Ukraine?" I mean, he's just like over it. I just think Joe is just like, "No, you're not pulling this crap with me. This is too important." So, and also Zelensky's got some really nice aspects here. He's got transiting Venus and transiting Jupiter in opposition, but hitting his Uranus. And so that means that it's going to stimulate this surprising, pull it out of the hat, Zelensky magicianal, magical kind of person, that he is. That's going to stimulate that. So that's really, really interesting for him. And so I don't think he's going to go home empty-handed. I think he's going to go home with at least a promise of a great package. And now let's just see what happens to him by the full moon, which is the day after, or the day and a half after Christmas.
Well, that is good news, because I get the feeling right now he's feeling a little bit like, oh shit, we need this money, and we're having trouble getting it. So
yeah, but every time he's come because he really wants he really feels like they're going to pull the plug any minute. So
Laura asked to see my puppy. Here's Lily. There she is.
Oh, she's so cute.
Because we were talking about the puppy virus or the dog virus that's going around right now.
Mhm. Mhm.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, Sherry, I see your comment, Sherry. Yeah, now is the time for him to make Mikey dance to Joe's tune, he's just so over it. He's just like, "Are you kidding me? First you say that you're Moses, and now you're going to hold up Ukraine's money because you want something on the GD border? Are you kidding me? They are apples and oranges, man.
Yeah.
One is really the existential crisis of our age, and the other is something that you guys should have approached 7 years ago, and you didn't. So don't come crying to me now. I think that's what he's saying. Now,
Well, I love it that you said that because it's almost exactly what I said while you were off
oh,
air for a moment. So no, good. I love that. You verified what I said.
oh,
Thank you.
that's excellent. Okay, great. So the full moon, when the full moon happens, he'll still have the sun in a very good position in his chart, and he'll have Mars coming up over the descendant. So by that time, he's a little more feisty and a little more sure of himself. So by after Christmas, he's going to feel a lot better. Um, I just think this is just an awfully
Are you kidding me? Come on, make this thing work. Come on, you're frozen. You're frozen. Come on. Uh, Boy, and that's a pretty look too. Look at her. There's a great look. Wow. I don't know. She's somehow still connected, or it would be back to the big picture of me, which I kind of like it the way it is. It's just like I can say anything about her right now. You doing okay? There she is. Now's the time to make fun of her. You know, actually, she's been such a help to me, and I'm sorry she's having such a problem today. She really, we talked about this show, and she really wanted to go into all the astrological things about these different uh, world figures and political people. And so and Colleen is so good at astrology. She's just a great astrologer. She's just been doing it forever, and she just really gets it. And like I said, I don't get it at all. I mean, I just remember as a kid, reading the stuff in the newspaper about your horoscopes, and I thought, oh, please, this makes no sense whatsoever. And that's what she did too. But that's what made her want to get further into it. And so anyway, she's really good, and it's just a real shame right now that she can't be up here showing you her great information astrologically. How many sisters? Just her and I. We're just the two little sisters. We were the twisted sisters. Now we're the psychic sisters. So we've progressed. Well, okay, she's telling me just to wrap it up. Now, Colleen, how did you get that message on there without me seeing you? Without having your internet? Well, whatever. I guess, okay, she said just wrap it up. I'll make a video about all the people who will be affected by the full moon. I am assuming she means at another time. And it will, it should be a great show. Unless you guys want to hang out and just talk, I don't care. No, we should probably do it. It's her show, so I should probably do what she asked me to do. But or we could just gossip about people. No, really. Hey, thanks, you guys. Thanks for coming. I'm sorry that the internet connection didn't work out for Colleen, and she wasn't to be able to tell you what was going on, but and she's saying, sorry to everyone for the terrible internet. Everything had to be disconnected and put back together on my studio, and the internet cable got mislaid. So I'm working off my Wi-Fi, which clearly does not work. So there's her. What the hell?
I don't know.
No, you coming back now? I'm just ready to shut down. And
Yeah, because I'm gonna say bye-bye to everybody, and I apologize. I just my studio, the girls had to take everything down, all of my technology. They had to disconnect everything, and they put everything back together, but they didn't give me a regular hardwire from my modem to my computer. They thought that I was working off Wi-Fi, and clearly the Wi-Fi just stinks. So
wow.
even though we connected it back up with a cable, they have the modem in a different area and yada yada, and it's just not the same setup. So I gotta get that worked out. So anyway, but thank you very much for handling the show for me. I really appreciate
Well,
that.
I gotta thank the chatters. They saved my ass on this because I didn't know what to do, and they came up with questions, and we had I think we had a good discussion about other
Great,
things too.
great.
So thank you guys, and what can I tell you? Colleen screwed up. That's what happened here. No, she didn't. She just didn't get the internet going. But yeah,
Mm.
we'll do this again, and it'll work out better, and hopefully maybe you'll have your studio back, and you'll definitely have your internet connection worked out.
Yeah, yeah. From your lips to God's ear. Yes, let's hope all those things happen. Okay, guys, thanks very much for joining us. I guess I'm going to have to watch this on replay because I have no idea what went on in this show. And
Uh-oh.
I really I appreciate everybody coming. I really do. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Where is my little video here? I'm going to at least play my video on the way out. Thank you.
Bye. Thank